Hi, my wonderful viewers. I'm still trying to figure out a nice intro for the Spoiled Girls Invest podcast. Let me know what you guys prefer to be called. Should I say hi, my lovely ladies? Hi, my savvy investors? Hi, my money makers? What do you guys prefer? Let me know below in the comments. But today's podcast is about why I love the platform called Ellevest. And Ellevest is a financial brokerage institution. And it is currently under, let me just double check because I believe they may still be under folio, but let me just double check. Let me see. I'm just gonna go to their about page. 1 second. But basically they're a brokerage institution that focuses primarily on female investors. Their CEO and co-founder is a woman. Her name is Sally Crosscheck, and that's why I really appreciate investing with them for my Roth IRA. I don't do actual like stocks or other sorts of investing through them because I just find that I prefer an institution like Fidelity to buy specific stocks, index funds, ETFs, bonds, things like that. Just because the way it's set up, it's not like you can just search up the VTI or like an S&P 500 index fund and then just buy it. The way it's set up on Ellevest is like basically you have certain goals. So let's say you have a goal of buying a home, like in the screen, how there's the home goal right there. Currently it says $0 because I have $0 in it. Because that's not my focus right now. My focus right now isn't to buy a home. My focus right now is filling up my Roth IRA. And, once I'm in a different space in life and have more consistent income, then, I'll probably shift over into getting a down payment for a nice home. But right now, that's not one of my goals. Let me share the other screenshot that I have as well. So let me see. Is it sharing the new page? Okay, it is. So this is the same screen, but just further down. So as you can see here, there's 3 goals. And here I blurred it out, but you could see in the other one that the home one is at 0. So let's say, for example, these are the 3 goals that I chose for my account: home, build wealth, and retirement. So that's the great thing about Ellevest is that you can create different goals and different investing accounts. So in each of these accounts, you can contribute money to it, and then the Ellevest platform with their robo advisors and their financial advisors, they will then choose the best investments for you based on the goal that you have, whether it's a short term or long term, and whether or not you are more risk adverse or whether you can handle a more aggressive, risky investment strategy. So let's say for something like home, since that's more of a short-term goal that someone would have, typically you don't want to wait 60 years to buy a home. You would want to wait, maybe a couple years, 5 years or something like that, 10 years maybe at most. It's a short-term goal. So the investment strategy that you would pick for that kind of goal would be a more conservative goal, right? Because you don't want an aggressive strategy, even though it may potentially get you a higher rate of return, because it is more aggressive and subject to more volatility, and you may end up, experiencing some negative returns if you take a more aggressive route, and then you would kind of be stuck waiting for uh, the capital that you initially invested to rise back up to so you could at least break even and get out of that investment, or to wait for it to provide you a capital gain. So either way, you would have to wait for things to get better. Versus if you took a more conservative approach, if you took a more conservative approach, excuse me, then you'd be less likely to be in that situation where you're having to wait for your investments to go back into profit or into not in the red, basically. So a goal like that, that's short term and something that you're going to most likely be withdrawing within the next few years, or at least less than within 10 years, something like that. You want to take a more conservative approach. And then something like building wealth, that's more of a long-term goal as well. But you could also take a more short-term approach, because building wealth, that can mean a lot of things. You might want to be building wealth to enhance your lifestyle, or building wealth to start traveling more, or to invest in a business. So that could also be a short-term goal. If you want to save up and invest a certain amount of capital to get a business up and running, then that could be a short-term goal. So then again, you would tailor your investment strategy based on the goal. Now, retirement, I hope that most of the people that follow me want to retire early and have that be a possibility and take steps to make that a possibility. But this one is I'm sorry, let me not say that. This is a Roth IRA. My retirement account here at Ellevest is a Roth IRA. So it's not a traditional IRA, but to me, it's traditional in the sense that it's based on a target allocation fund of, I believe, the year 2060. So until the year 2060, I can't take out the earnings or the capital gains of that money that's been growing in that account without having to pay a penalty. So the thing about the Roth IRA is you can take out the money that you invest because that's your money, right? But you can't take out the gains of the money that was generated as a result of the investment. That you will face a penalty and you will have to pay taxes on it. So yeah, for the retirement accounts, it is a Roth IRA, and it's something that is supposed to be invested for the long term until, again, the year around 2060, 2065. Since it is a long-term investment, the strategy that I can take at least is aggressive. So for that goal, the strategy is aggressive, and I'll try to see if I can show you guys the allocation of it. I'm trying not to show too much because I don't want too much of my money out there like that. Even though it's not like, crazy amounts, but it's just not something that I'm particularly comfortable broadcasting. But I can try and show the allocation. So let me see. So, okay, so I'm gonna take a screenshot. Okay, so here is a look into my Roth IRA and what I am invested in. And so again, here you can see that the target composition, that's just showing the ratio of the allocation of the funds that I've invested. So majority is stocks, but it's not individual stocks and it's not mutual funds. As you can see under the stocks category, majority is in Vanguard's ETFs or index funds, which I really like because I'm a very big proponent of index funds or ETFs. I prefer them much more than mutual funds because index funds charge a lower amount in fees than something like a mutual fund, because mutual funds, they're ran by actual people. So the fees that are charged with mutual funds are much higher because it's an actual person who is picking the group of stocks that they're going to invest in. They're picking when to buy them, when to sell them. And so you're basically compensating somebody for their job as a financial advisor to buy and sell stocks, to decide when to get out of an investment and when to get into an investment. So those fees are astronomically higher. And the thing is that they get their fee whether or not you actually see a profit. So there's kind of no penalty for a financial advisor if they pick an investment and it doesn't do well for you. Of course they might have their own internal thing that happens with their employer or something like that, but for you as the customer, you're the one facing the risks based on the choices that your financial advisor makes. So here, as you can see, the stocks that Ellevest picked for me is mostly the Vanguard index funds and ETFs, which I really like. And most people who choose index funds and ETFs, they really like Vanguard. So that's something that's really great because it's something that I really appreciate, and I like the mission behind the Vanguard company. Um, and I'm just really grateful that I'm able to invest with their index funds through the platform on Ellevest, because Vanguard, their own platform, it's kind of, there's a larger barrier to enter, I'll say, because if you choose to invest directly on Vanguard's platform, you may need to meet certain minimums, certain financial minimums in terms of how much money you need to invest just to get started. So that can be like a barrier to entry, especially for young people, students, people who are just starting out and don't have a lot of money to invest right away. So it's really great here on Ellevest because you don't need to start off with, $1,000 or $10,000. You can just start off with a very low amount and just grow from there. So yes, that's the target composition. As you can see, majority is stocks, 3% is bonds, and 2% is alternatives. And because the other percentages are just so low, it's not even really worth going over it. Basically, because here at the risk level, it says standard. And I don't know why it says standard, because when you actually click on the little, that little I next to risk level, it says that, well, I don't know, basically because of my age, I'm young, I'm in my early 20s, and I still have about, 40 years until I can withdraw from this Roth IRA for retirement. they chose this target composition because it's more aggressive, right? Because 95% allocation in stocks is a very aggressive approach. But because I'm young and there's time for me to ride out the highs and lows of the stock market, things will balance out. And, I basically have time to wait out the market if something were to crash or something were to go wrong. But if you are opening up a Roth IRA at the age of 35 or 40 or 50, the target composition should look much different than mine, right? Because that person wouldn't have as much time in the market. So it would be unwise for them to have a 95% allocation into stocks. So, and then I don't really know what the impact portfolio means. Oh, yes, now I do know. The impact section basically is where you can, if you have certain social values that you really care about, such as like investing in different activism or social goals, maybe like climate change or things like that, or investing in companies that have just more conscious policies or steps that they're taking in terms of just like being mindful of their impact in the world, then you can turn that on, and then Ellevest will look for different investment opportunities that will help you support those initiatives. Okay, so yes, and then I also wanted to share something else just to help you guys while navigating the Ellevest website. So as I showed in the first slide, there is, let me see if I can pull that up. So let's do new share. So here in the first slide, as you can see at the transfer money here in the middle, where it says transfer money here in the middle, it'll bring you to a drop-down menu. And it gives three choices, a one-time transfer, a recurring transfer, or transfer external account. And I'll show you guys how the one-time transfer option looks. So if you choose that choice, it'll bring you to this page. And this is how you will fund your account in Ellevest. So you will just put in the information for one of your bank accounts, or whatever other manner that you choose to pay with. I just do one of my checking accounts. You would have to get in touch with their customer service if there's other ways that you want to fund the account, like, I don't know, maybe through PayPal or something else, or mailing in checks. I don't know, that's very old school. But, if there's other ways that you want to transfer your money into Ellevest, then that's something that you would have to address directly with them to know their policies. I have reached out to the Ellevest customer service line by their email, and they are pretty quick at responding, and they're very efficient and effective. That's another reason why I like investing with Ellevest, because if I ever have a question about something, I can always ask through their email, and they respond back pretty quickly within 24 or 48 hours. And they always give you an actual response. It's not just a computer generated, automatic reply that says something that isn't even really useful to the question that you asked and isn't an actual answer to the question you asked, which can be very frustrating. So that's another thing that's great about Ellevest, is they have a great customer service line. So any questions you have, you can direct towards them, and they should be able to assist you. And then I also wanted to share another thing. So once you have that one-time transfer and you have some money going into the account, let's say that you already have an account at a different financial institution, and you want to switch it over to Ellevest. Maybe you found out that that financial institution is investing your IRA or retirement account into mutual funds and they're not really performing well, or the fees are really high and that just rubs you the wrong way now. After you heard what I had to say about it, then guess what? You can transfer that external account into Ellevest. And that's actually what I did. When I initially opened my Roth IRA, perhaps like 4 or 5 years ago at this point, um, I initially started it with a different company, with a different brokerage institution. I believe it was American Century, but I think they changed their name now. I think it was American Capital. I don't know. There's so many financial institutions, but I believe it was American Capital. Yeah, I believe it was American Capital. But anyways, it was just an old school brokerage. I don't even think they had like a mobile app. It was just a very old school brokerage. When I opened it up, it wasn't even online. I went in person to a, financial advisor's office, like in my local town, and he did it for me in person, set it all up, gave me like a packet of documents, and told me, you can log into this website if you want to check on it, add money to it. But after that, he never really got in touch with me or followed up with me. So I didn't really know how to navigate the website, how to make deposits, how to choose or allocate what I wanted the money invested into. And so that really rubbed me the wrong way. And honestly, for the first year that I had my Roth IRA, I didn't make any investments to it because it was just so hard to navigate. So it just kind of stayed with the same amount for like over a year, maybe 2 years. It wasn't until I found out about Ellevest, which was in the beginning of the pandemic around March 2020. I found out about Ellevest through my one of my relatives, and she told me about it and how she liked it and how she liked the different features that the website and the app have, and how it's really easy to manage your investments through Ellevest. It's really easy to do monthly deposits, like automatic recurring transfers every month. And it's great because of like how I showed you in the earlier screenshot, that you can create different goals and give them different names and say, this is my investment account for my dream home. This is the one that I want for my dream career. This is the one that I want for my travel budget. So that was what really brought me to make that switch. So I actually went about this process and it was very simple. You just select here what transfer type you're doing, you give them the information of the other institution, and then from there, you don't have to do anything else. Ellevest will take it on themselves to get in touch with that other institution and facilitate the transfer. I believe Ellevest doesn't charge any fees, but I might not be 100% correct about that. But if your other financial institution does charge a fee for this transfer, then that's just something that's going to happen and it'll be taken out of your account. But that's not on Ellevest, that's just the other company's policy. So if you have any questions about that, again, direct that to Ellevest's customer service line. You can just send a ticket to their email and they will be able to assist you. But yeah, that's pretty much it on this platform, Ellevest. I really, really enjoy using them again for my retirement account. That's really what I'm using them for now. In the future, again, when I'm in a different position and I want to start investing heavily towards those other short-term goals like buying a house, or building up more capital for different money moves that I want to make, then I will start investing into those other accounts. But for now, my main goal is investing in my other brokerage accounts. So I have 2 other brokerage accounts, one at Fidelity, where I just buy Fidelity index funds. And I can do a whole other video on that, on why I decided to open up a Fidelity account. And then I also have another brokerage account at Wedbush, and there I'm mostly invested into individual stocks, such as dividend paying stocks like Procter and Gamble, the 3M Minnesota Mining Company, and Johnson and Johnson, and different companies like that. So there I'm just invested into individual stocks and a lot of dividend paying stocks, because dividend paying stocks, that's a great way to get passive income. And I'm also invested into some mutual funds there as well. But again, I prefer index funds. So that's just my way of kind of exploring with mutual funds. But for the long term, I prefer index funds. So that's why I'm really glad that Ellevest chose Vanguard index funds for my retirement account. So yeah, that's all that I wanted to share. This is why I like investing with Ellevest through my for my Roth IRA account. I think that it's a great platform, especially for young millennial and Gen Z women, because just like, even look at here, like the first page where you sign in, like just look at the backgrounds. Like it's a nice nightstand with a glass of some rosé or some, whatever kind of fruit drink that is, some wine, the cute bowl of the almonds. You can see like an agenda or something off to the side. You can clearly see that the way they market their platform and the aesthetics that they have, that it's clearly towards a female audience. And I really like that because it just makes me feel seen and recognized, especially in this more male dominated financial space. And I think that it's just great to have an institution like this that really values the female audience, a female investor, and is making strides towards bridging that gap and making the financial and investing sector more equitable and more equal at the end of the day. So, okay, that's all I had to share. If you guys have any questions, any thoughts or concerns, please share below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.